Yeah, that was a pretty solid recording session. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. You've got to be kidding me. This was my controller. What the heck? Play the game or watch as more of your stuff is destroyed. Get out of here. What else did I expect it to be? Another Spongebob game. I thought this was all a dream. I thought that freaking guy in that hood was just a big old dream. And then what the heck is this over here? What the heck? Here's a new hat as well. Your other one sucked? No, it didn't. It's actually not that bad of a hat. It's fine. I like my other one no more. I wonder where it went. It just disappeared. Could have been because of him. My God, dude. When are you going to stop torturing me, guy? SpongeBob's Truth or Square? What is your obsession with SpongeBob games? The bad ones. I don't know if... I haven't played this in eons. I don't even know if that's bad. But going and destroying my controller? Going and doing this? Freaking taking it and dismantling it? I can't even pick this up. There we go. See? Really? Did you have to do this? Oh my goodness. I don't want to see more of my stuff destroyed, so whatever. SpongeBob, Truth or Square? SpongeBob's Truth or Square was a special that was made back in 2009, airing on Nickelodeon for the 10th anniversary of SpongeBob. In the special, it is the 117th birthday of the Krusty Krab, so Mr. Krabs plans on holding a big special event for everyone to come and enjoy. But he ends up getting everyone locked into the Krusty Krab, so in order to find their way out, they decide to go crawling through these vents, and this is basically the whole special. You have some experts of going back to Patchy the Pirate here, who is holding a TV extravaganza on SpongeBob, which is pretty cool. I like seeing Patchy. Patchy is actually one of the most underrated characters to see. The problem with the Patchy the Pirate scenes, though, is that they weren't really that funny. They were just kind of thrown in there for the special. It's like me putting on a pirate outfit and just doing some stupid little dance and saying, hey, this is a special. You've asked me, mateys. This is the Zombryra Show special. Oh, yeah. Ah! 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 Ha 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 ha! Ah! Oh! Ha ha ha! Yeah! Oh ho ho ho! Oh! Yeah! Now going back to the cartoon segments, these are pretty dull as well. I don't mind that they're crawling through these vents the whole time because they're having flashbacks the whole time that they're in these vents. The problem I do have is that this was the perfect opportunity to celebrate SpongeBob's history. It was the 10th anniversary of the show. Why not go back and explore past episodes? Maybe redraw them in different angles, explore different ways of reviving those episodes and those scenes. And that's exactly what the SpongeBob Truth or Square video game does. It is completely separate from the actual episode itself because it doesn't follow any of the story from there. It is its own entity. Instead, it takes from past episodes for its course design to help with its story, which is quite awesome. Because the story here, instead, is that it's the 117th anniversary of the Krusty Krab still, but instead, Mr. Krab decides to entrust SpongeBob to keep the secret Krabby Patty formula safe. I don't know how well you can trust SpongeBob to keep something safe, but however, in the excitement, SpongeBob misplaces this formula and is too sad to remember where he ended up putting it. So, in order to overcome this grief to potentially remember where he placed the formula, SpongeBob must journey back through his past memories with his friends in order to help retrace his happiest moments in hopes to remembering where he might have placed the formula. But, while SpongeBob is trying to remember his happiest moments in order to remember where the formula is at, Plankton is messing around within his brain with his Plankton army in order to try to figure out where the formula could be as well so he could end up stealing it. I don't know why he couldn't just take the time right now to go to the Krusty Krab to potentially see if it was there, but hey, gotta have some kind of enemy in this, right? And this is so much freaking better than the actual episode this is based on. Like, the episode itself is just so dull and boring. You're going through these events the whole time, having them have flashbacks to memories that don't even pertain to anything that happened in the past episodes. It's just so boring. It's not special at all, ironically enough. Like, when you're making an episode special, you want to hit the person in the heart. You want to make them feel something emotional. And the best way to do that is going back to the past and bringing back stuff that is older. Now, I know the younger audience may not exactly know that, but the parents are most likely watching these episodes along with their kids. And if you were like, let's say, 12, 13 when you were watching it back in 1999, you could be a parent by the time this episode aired. So why not go back to those past episodes? And even then, you know, they always rerun episodes, even of the older stuff. So a kid could have potentially still saw some of the references that they could have made in this episode. There was no reason for them not to do that. And that's why I'm so happy that the actual game itself explores this idea for its level design and its story overall. That is awesome. So, what are we waiting for? I'm actually excited for this. So, let's pop this in.
Stop!
Uh-oh, wait, really? Heavy Iron made this? That is awesome. Holy crap, no wonder the story's so good in this. Yeah, it wasn't just the two games here. They made a trilogy out of this series. That's awesome. After the disappointment of what the movie game was to me, compared to the success of this game, I'm more than happy to let them give it another shot and see how they do. So, yeah, let's start the game. So, compared to the special that this is based on, instead of holding the celebration at the Krusty Krab, they instead do it at SpongeBob's house, which I actually much prefer. SpongeBob's house is probably one of the most iconic set pieces in the show, because it's one of the first things that you learn about SpongeBob. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob's wearing pants. Yeah, that's the first thing you learn about SpongeBob. So it's nice that they're holding it at SpongeBob's house instead of the Krusty Krab, because as cool as the Krusty Krab is, this is just more iconic of a piece to base the episode on. So like I mentioned before, the whole game is based around going back to past memories, how SpongeBob get happier to be able to remember where he placed the formula. So, the first level we're going to be talking to Patrick here, and we're going to be going into Jellyfish Fields. And this will give us an opportunity to... Oh, hey look. That's our new attack? Now I don't know why they gave this to SpongeBob as a standard attack. It's just really long and doesn't look good. Like, why didn't they just bring back the spin around attack that they did with like the karate gloves in the movie game, or the the bubble wand? The bubble wand. Bubble blower? That looks so wrong. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they just bring back that? They could have done it with the spatula. They literally have SpongeBob turn into a spatula here. Why not just make him spin around with a spatula, maybe in both hands? That would have been so much better. I would have much preferred that over whatever the heck this is. But hey, it's functional. It works. Albeit a little bit slow compared to how I would like it. It's not quick. But hey, it's fine. As I mentioned before, Plankton is also poking around in SpongeBob's brain in order to try to figure out where the formula could be. So that's why you'll see Plankton flying around SpongeBob most of the time, because he's helping SpongeBob be able to remember where the formula could be. As much as he's really helping him, instead of just trying to figure out where the formula could be for his own benefits, he actually offers a second player mode for this, which is kind of funny. Using another Wii remote, you can point at the screen with the remote and he'll be able to shoot this attack. That's why he has like this weird little get up on him. It's not just for flying, it also shoots a laser attack. Hey, that's fine. I guess if you have a younger little brother that really wants to play the game, just toss him the Wii remote. Just toss it right to him. I don't have a Wii remote right by me. I wanted to make a joke here. Now, after making our way through Jellyfish Fields here, we're going to end up in this battle section around the SpongeBob Stone Tikis here. which I actually don't mind this too much. The enemies are very quick and simple to defeat, and you have this power-up over here which makes Spongebob into a hammer.
It's hammer time!
So it's pretty easy and pretty quick to do. This is how, I guess, a fighting section, if you're gonna really add one, should work in a platformer. It's quick and simple and not too strenuous to do. So as I mentioned before, there are power-ups in this game. This is something that's completely new compared to the previous SpongeBob video games that Heavy Iron has made. There are a few different kinds of them in this game to offer. Like I mentioned before, there's the one with Patrick where he's slamming SpongeBob around as a hammer. Then you have the one where he turns into karate gloves and Sandy starts spinning around, kind of like the robot enemy here that Plankton sent into SpongeBob's brain. Then you have Squidward, where he's scorching his notes. I know I said that I would rather listen to the scorching notes of Squidward's curly net, but I didn't mean it literally. Then you got a couple power-ups that pertain to just SpongeBob himself, like the Muscle Bob one here. This simply just makes SpongeBob stronger. Instead of a spatula that slams down, he slams his head down like a freaking sledgehammer. And then he has these big freaking fans that blow around him when you get the second attack that he has. Yeah, I forgot to even mention that. You get different attacks throughout the game. To make it a little different, spice it up, this attack right here is just him spinning, which I guess I misspoke earlier, but this looks stupid though. Look how dumb this looks. I still much prefer my idea with using spatulas to spin around. That would have been so much better. But hey, at least now this actually hovers you. Like, seems like it's 100% meant to hover you like it does here. Unlike in the previous games where he kind of just hovers. I don't know if it's like meant to do that. I don't know. Before going off topic though, let's finish up by talking about the last power-up here. The happiness power-up. This is simply just invincibility. SpongeBob won't take damage and easily destroy stuff. Simple, simple. You get stupid happy. You should take the time to remember where the formula is while in this happy state. But hey, he's happy, so I guess that's good. Yay! Even though these power-ups are really fun to mess around with, there's actually no point of them being here except for the Muscle Bob one, since they actually gave some mechanics that pertain to only the Muscle Bob one. Like you see here, you have this weight scale thing that goes up. I don't know what the heck that's called. I'm just gonna call it a button. Anyhow, you hit this button and this will unlock pathways for SpongeBob to be able to continue his way through. You won't be able to do it with standard SpongeBob here. And then you also have moments where you have to use this bigger fan here to be able to hit 3 different fans at once. So Muscle Bob is actually necessary throughout the game to be able to complete it. I wish they would have done this with a couple other power-ups. Would have been cool to see if like Patrick's hammer needed to hit something specifically in order to get by. Would have given them more of a reason to be here. But hey, I think they're fun, so like there's no reason for them not to be here. There's just also no reason for them to be there as well. They're just kind of there. If you want to use them, you can use them. They're fun. So after recording, I just remembered there's a couple sections with Sandy where you actually do need to use her in order to get rid of these lead paths, because this will reveal some buttons. You can't actually just attack them with SpongeBob, so yeah, ignore this idiot. Now going back to that battle section, after defeating all the enemies here, a chest will drop that will reveal what is called a happiness object. These are just something that shows that you completed the levels, and then after completing that level, you'll get the opportunity to go back and get 2 more. I didn't do this. You see, I did not care to go back to the course because while I think the courses look really cool, I don't think the courses are fun to traverse. They're not that fun. They're kind of bland, I guess, outside of just how they're designed. I just don't think the platforming is that fun and interesting to warrant going back to a level, so I kind of just one-shotted every level I played. And that's basically the entirety of the game. You'll just be exploring past memories of SpongeBob. In this case, it's just going to be past episodes, to make SpongeBob happier, obtain some happiness objects, gain a couple new abilities along the way, and yeah, that is how it is. The courses are pretty okay, I guess. I didn't really feel like going back to any of them, like I mentioned here a second ago, because they're just not that fun. I love how they look. I love the references that they give, like the one right here where Squidward is Santa Claus again, And the very first episode that they referenced with SpongeBob becoming a fry cook, even though they didn't make a battle section here with the anchovies, I would have actually much preferred that, where SpongeBob's shooting patties at him. But nope, it's just outside. It doesn't really look like the actual episode, but hey, it still references the episode, I guess. Yeah, kind of disappointing. But still, hey, this is overall pretty solid. It's not phenomenal. It's not bad, though, either. I would easily be able to recommend this game to someone, especially if you're a huge fan of SpongeBob. There's even a whole episode on the hash-slinging slasher, and as you're going through the course, you'll see Squidward talking about the different elements of the hash-slinging slasher. And then, at the end, we get to see this little bud again. I don't know why they haven't brought this character back. Like, he's only used for this one episode. Like, why? Bring back the hash-slinging slasher. Hashtag, you know what, just ignore the hashtag. And even the boss fights are past references. Like this one with the Patrick boss fight here, where you're in front of the Salty Spittoon fighting Patrick. Like, you're not really fighting Patrick, you're fighting the robot version of him, but still, this is awesome. This is splendid to see. And this boss fight is actually pretty interesting. It gets more difficult the farther you go along. After hitting him, you'll hit this freaking container over here which spurts water all over the place, which makes it slippery, and then the next time you'll hit this jelly containment, which will make it where you can only slide on your tongue, you can't jump, so it limits your field of play. This is actually a pretty solid boss fight, and the next one is pretty solid as well with the Squidward robot. They brought back the robot Squidward idea, and I think they did it in an even better way than what the concept art in Battle for Bikini Bottom showed. This boss fight instead pertains to the past memory when Squidward took his first bite of a Krabby Patty, and then became so obsessed that he ends up making him dummy thick. I can't believe I just said dummy thick on this. What have I come to? Anyhow, and as I mentioned, this boss fight is freaking awesome. It looks simple at first, and it's pretty stupid at first. I thought this was like, oh, this is kind of disappointing. But it's after that first hit, after you avoid him doing this and actually hit him in the face, the course starts getting destroyed and starts becoming like an obstacle course to get around. This is a platforming boss fight done correctly. I love it when a platforming boss introduces platforming elements into the boss fight. That is awesome. That is how you do a boss fight correctly. That's what Mario does every single time. There's a lot of platforming elements in every Mario boss fight that there is. Almost. There's probably a couple out there that isn't exactly that, but still, this is my idea of a platforming boss. Very solidly done. I can't believe this. Like, I'm actually flabbergasted. After what a disgrace this was, like, I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash on this eventually, because right now I'm a small boy. I'm a small boy on this channel, you know, on this huge platform. But this right here is so much better than what that game could have ever offered. This game is solid. It is a good time. Like I said, the platform is not the greatest, but the charm is what it offers, the references. I don't know, maybe I'm just fanboying too hard on this, but this game is still solid. I had a good time. Like, I very much enjoyed what I played in this game. Especially the boss fights. The boss fights were really cool. And I guess that's going to lead me into the final part of this video here. The Plankton Robot Chum Bucket. So yeah, you see, after just abruptly ending after this memory for some reason, which I guess that's one complaint I do have, it just kind of ends here. Like, I don't know why. Like, they could have went on longer. I think it could have just been a time sprint. I feel like there's something more to this part right here. I feel like there was probably meant to be a bit more missions available. Anyhow, SpongeBob remembered where the location is. Plankton is now learning where the location of the formula is. Which, hey, Plankton, couldn't you have assumed that this is where it could have been the whole time? Instead of going through SpongeBob's memory? Like, you're stupid. You could have been there already, had the formula, and been good to go. Instead, you're too stupid. You stupid. You deserve getting your tulips ran over, which this is actually pretty funny. No! The tulips! Anyhow, Spongebob is shot out of the Chum Bucket robot here and is now platforming across the buildings in downtown Bikini Bottom. This is really cool to see. Again, I love it when a platformer makes the boss fight have platforming elements to it. That is how you do a platformer correctly. But after doing this, you'll end up getting the opportunity to make the Chum Bucket robot go down and then enter inside it by going in one of these gumballs and shooting your way into it. And this is just a battle section. I don't really like it. I'm sorry. Like, no. Like, it's not bad. At least it has some platforming elements along with it. But this final boss is just, it's kind of weak to what I expected. It's really cool sounding. I think this boss could have been really cool. The idea behind it is. But just in execution, it's not that great. And that just sucks. It's the final boss. But, hey, we're almost going to defeat it. We're almost there. Just got to destroy these freaking things here that's powering the heart, giving it its shield. Alright, let's go destroy the heart. Destroy it, destroy it, destroy it. Yes. And that's the end. Overall, this was a pretty satisfying game to play. I don't really have much more to say on this game. It was really fun for what it is, and definitely worth the play if you ever had the opportunity to. Very much an enjoyable time. Yeah, that's quite incredible. When I went into this game, I was not as expecting of this game. But then as I learned the story behind it, it went up. Then I learned it was heavy iron, it went up again. And now it's up even again because it blew my expectations out of the water. It was a really solid platformer that I would easily be able to recommend anyone that's a huge fan of SpongeBob here. But the ending here just kind of ruins it for me. The ending is not that good. You see, after defeating the Chum Bucket robot here, Mr. Krabs comes out of nowhere and asks SpongeBob what the heck he's doing instead of getting ready for the celebration. SpongeBob tells him that he thought he forgot where the formula was. Mr. Krabs almost freaking has a panic attack, but then SpongeBob's like, well, I thought I forgot where it's at, but I remember putting it in the safe. Then it's not in the safe. Then SpongeBob's like, oh, it's in my back pocket. And it's just Mr. Krabs' laundry list.
Ah, it was in my back pocket the whole time.
Hey, that's me lottery ticket. Oops, I guess I never gave you the formula after all. Ah, here it is. It was in my back pocket the whole time.
Your back pocket of the
10 years.
Mr. Krabs had it the whole time. Why? Mr. Krabs, this would have been so much better. You literally did the better idea on accident of what you should have done. Now, there's just one thing that doesn't make sense to me. This guy in that hood, this guy that I've been seeing, the guy I thought was just a figment of my imagination. He destroyed my controller, makes me play this game, but it's actually good. Dude, where are you? We need to talk. This is the last time you're gonna bother me with another stupid SpongeBob game! You have some explaining to do. Who the hell are you?
It's not who I am, but what I am.
No! Just got away! There is one silver lighting. With him out of the way, I can play this. Finally. Like I wanted to a long time ago. Woo! I need a break.